Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best, you gotta show me son. Actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Good morning, everyone. Yeah. Happy Friday to the WCS supporters as always. Hopefully everyone is doing great this morning. Well, should I say afternoon, morning on the West Coast. You feel me? This is fight weekend. We have another splendid matchup on the horizon in the main event. We have the weigh-ins today for TeoFimo Lopez and Josh Taylor. Now, I know some people they don't care for this fight, but you have to. You know what I'm saying? Because both of these fighters was undisputed. You got to care for it, you know? You have to. You have to pay attention to it. Both of these fighters are not bums at all. Like, both of these fighters did something that a lot of other fighters wasn't able to do in their boxing career, and that is become undisputed in under 20 fights. You know, Teo was able to do it in 16, and Josh, I think, was able to do it in his 18th fight. You know what I'm saying? In his 18th fight, he was able to become undisputed. That's a big deal, bro. That's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? But there are advantages and disadvantages. But let me first get to the chat. Shawty. The first in the building. N-O-N-A-M-E. On deck. What it do, man? Happy Friday to you. Hope all is well. On the home front. King Mitch on deck. Teo's delusional. What's good with it? So I'm going to play some audio from TeoFimo Lopez. And you know how Teo, and you know what I've said about Teo. I say, you know, he's a very good manipulator when it comes to playing mind games on his fans. He's in there with a tough fight. Like I said, both of these fighters have been able to come undisputed in under 20 fights. The advantages go to Taylor, in my opinion, because he was able to defend his. And also, he vacated the belts, all but the WBO. And you can't vacate the lineal. You know what I'm saying? So the lineal will be on the line, you know, tomorrow. The lineal will be on the line. This is a big deal. The lineal championship will also be a part of the package. I like it. Now, the big talk is that everybody's, you know, rehashing what Teo has said. and look, with the money and the fame, things change. We know that. With the money and the fame, things change. And people are pretty much, you know, putting that in the lap of Teo and saying, hey, something ain't right with this dude. You know, he just be talking out his head. He be saying things that don't make any sense. only in his world. He mentioned, some very controversial comments lately, for which he said, he wanted to kill Josh Taylor in the ring. That's what Teo said. You know what I'm saying? That's what Teo said, right? He said he wanted to kill Josh Taylor in the ring. Now that's harsh words, but really it isn't so harsh. You know what I'm saying? Because I just look at it from a lens of, you're in a combat sport already, the hurt business, and you've already experienced areas in your life will push you past those thresholds. You already been to the dark side several times because you have to. You know what I'm saying? This sport requires you to take punishment before the fight, during the fight, and then the pain that you experience after the fight. So all of that is 3 layers of punishment that you have to deal with if you want to be a professional boxer. This is not like a lot of other sports where you can play them and it may be physical, but it's not physical to the point where your brain is being molested. Your brain is being tampered with. Your brain is being damaged. There's not too many sports out there, unless you're in a full contact sport, that takes you through that, right? So what I'm saying about, him speaking about the kill switch, being able to kill a man in the ring. Josh Taylor understands that he has a thought process. He can either believe and let Teo get in his head. You know what I'm saying? He can either believe that Teo's actually trying to go in there and kill him, or he can just take it as just regular trash talk. And that's what I think Josh Taylor is talking. You know what I'm saying? He's taking it and digesting it as trash talk. But to the public, they look at it as being something that they never heard before. And I know it's a lot of millennials that's out there, waving the mobile phones and becoming media outlets and all that. They call themselves boxing media, but they're millennials, right? They're very young in the game. If you was to go back in the day, things was a whole lot worse. Fighters was fighting during the lead up to the fight in the streets. Nobody's doing what Mitch Green and Mike Tyson was doing back then. I mean, Mitch Green and Mike Tyson. It's a whole lot of other fights that went on outside the ring. And then nobody's moving furniture like Lennox Lewis and Hakeem Rothman. Nobody's moving furniture like that. Lennox Lewis, man, he was in plenty of freaking brawls, even with Mike Tyson. Dude, come on, man. They're not doing it the way they was doing it. Mike Tyson biting off people's ears. You know what I'm saying? Are they really worried about getting killed in the ring? Who's doing it like that? Who's gonna come in there and give you that amount of fear that you can say, man, so and so might just die in there? You have to be a less extremely lower tier fighter, and then if you even thinking this is a lower tier matchup, then you out of bounds anyway. But you have to take a lower tier fighter to put him in there with the caliber of a Josh Taylor or TeoFimo, and he just get beat on. It has to be almost like Dave Morrell and Yerbo. Okay. Dude was standing in there tough. He was taking an extreme amount of punishment. In this particular scenario, if Josh Taylor believes TeoFimo is actually trying to kill him, then his headspace is weak anyway. His headspace is fragile anyway, because you only have 2 gloves, man. You can't use no knees, elbows, headbutts, none of that. Your only 2 components that are legalized to strike your adversary is your 2 hands. Your 2 hands, not your elbow, not your shoulder. You know what I'm saying? None of that. It's your 2 hands, which are wrapped up and gloved for the protection of the fighter that's throwing the punch. Now imagine that. How are you going to be a killer if you have all that protection so you won't break your hand? But have fighters died in the ring? Of course, because we don't know the exact lead up on what damage that was on the medical. We don't know all that, but in this particular scenario, the chorus sounds pretty good, man. And Josh Taylor say, I don't want to stick around for this. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to stick around for this. But Teo is a good seller. And NO asked me who I got. I have Teo all day, bro. So we look at the age. All right. Josh Taylor's much older, more mature when it comes to hearing trash talk like this. He's looking at it like, man, whatever, man. You sound crazy. Hey, I can't really I can't really knock Josh Taylor for not sticking around to listen to this shit. Me, if I was in his position, I'll probably stay there and talk a little bit more because I can engage somebody like Teo. I could if I was in that position. But Josh Taylor's 32 years old. He's like, man, I don't have time to be sitting here talking to this guy. He said, everybody has a plan till they get punched in the mouth. Mike Tyson. He said, oh, there we go with another Mike Tyson. Hey, it's kind of tacky a little bit. But if no one promotes the fight, at the fight week and the weigh-in, what is there to do? You feel me? We got to get some moto, bro. Hey, shout out to Don Vaughn on deck in the building, bro. Mark Nash TV breaking beats on deck. What's good with it, Mark? UK, Sid UK, salute to you, brother. Don Vaughn, keep cooking, OG. Shout out to Don Vaughn with the $5 super chat. Thank you for donating the channel, my brother. It's truly appreciated. Yes, sir. Thanks for the ones who ride with the brother. You know what I'm saying? WCS and talking this boxing and MMA. Shout out to the OG, Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. Salute, brother, at WCS. Salute to you, man. Thanks for pulling up. TeoFimo gonna beat down. Teo gonna get beat down by the Scottish man in a skirt. Meanwhile, Jerome from the hood gonna give his wife some good body work and it's an inside game too. Bad week for TeoFimo. Okay, I see where you at with it. Knock down 305. Salute to you in the building. At WC in the chat, yo, what's good? So I see what Sid's at with it. Listen, I understand that people are gonna support who they support. The weigh-in is about 30 minutes, and I look at it like this: Teo's 25 years old, and like I said before, when he was going that route, he went the IBF route. I remember trying to tell people, the reason why he was going the IBF route, and they still wanted to stick to their ABCs. You feel me? They wanted to stick to their ABCs. B is supposed to come out the A, and C after B, and D after C, and E after D. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to tell them what had been talked about behind the scene. They didn't want to believe it. All they was talking about is Devin Haney and Teo linking up and all that. I'm like, bro, they're not fighting. I tried explaining the reason why Teo was going the IBF route and how he would make it to the pot of gold just by taking the business route and fighting a title eliminator, then getting a title shot and getting a Lomachenko. I tried to tell them that Devin Haney was parked. They didn't want to listen to me back then, bro. I guess I ain't have enough views. I tried to tell them that the WBC tournament wasn't going down, but they still sat there to me. Oh man, it's gonna be a Teo, Devin Haney fight. I said, man, Lomachenko is a franchise champion. This is not the first time we heard of this, but now we hearing about it more because it affects the progress of one of the most active divisions in boxing, 135 pounds. So when Teo went over there and beat Nakatani and went in there and dispersed of Richard Comey in 2 rounds, I was like, there you go. So now they's like, oh man, ain't no way Teo's gonna beat Lomachenko. Lomachenko's just too good. He's just too good. He has too much experience. Teo's Olympic pedigree is nowhere close to Lomachenko, man. This is going to be a mismatch. Man, Teo's going to get stopped. He's already been down in his first professional fight. Yeah, man, he's this, that, and the other. Come on, man. What is Teo thinking? He goes in there and move for move, pivot for pivot. He had Lomachenko in the garage in the first half of the fight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Lomachenko was moving. He was moving around, shadow boxing and all that, but he wasn't able to throw effective punches. You don't get, points for shadow boxing. And Tio wasn't his shadow, man, at that time. He was his nemesis. And there was a lot of trash talk in that particular fight. And Tio was keeping the same energy. He was keeping the same energy he did with Lomachenko that he's keeping with Taylor. You know what I'm saying? He was keeping the same energy. What was wrong with that? Lomachenko goes in there with no rematch clause and get beat. Now I remember being on the YTC where a lot of people wasn't even going for Tio. They was going for Lomachenko because it was a certain group of brothers that wanted to, go for Lomachenko. But they didn't like, the only reason they didn't like TeoFimo Lopez because they were sitting up here trying to build up a fight between him and Devin Haney. So once again, we have individuals not using their own mind, you know what I'm saying? Their own mental strength, making their own decisions. And they want to go with the group setting, the all in favor of. So they was like, oh man, well, well, since, Tio, he ain't gonna beat Lomachenko. Oh, he beat Lomachenko. Oh man, let's just start out this thing, with TeoFimo Lopez and Devin Haney. Let's start a war between them. So they start bashing TeoFimo Lopez, Devin Haney. So Tio say, fuck it, I'm gonna fight my mandatory. Yeah, he came up short, but I commend him for the way he went out there below 100%, fought his ass off, all or nothing, and he lost. He lost his belts. Okay, he lost his belt. He took it. He was less than 100%. He took the loss. But there's a lot of things I respect about Tio through that entire process, right? He negotiated a higher wage. And we're talking about a fighter who didn't even have 15 fights yet. I mean, he didn't even have 16 fights yet. He won the title and he went in there negotiating a higher purse for Lomachenko. And we thought the fight wasn't going to be had. So he gets the fight done, right? He wins the fight, becomes undisputed. Then he goes into a purse bid and say, no, I want to get paid. I respect that. We can't talk about boxing as a business, but yet we criticize the boxers who are absolutely doing business. You see where I'm at with it? Like, I respect him for that, right? People call him dumb, stupid, but you're talking about what Tio was able to do in 14 to 15 fights. Man, that shit is good to go. So he went in there and lost, of course, 3 delays. Floyd Mayweather showed his presence. He showed he's one of the most powerful men in boxing. And he dropped in there in Florida. And Triller, they couldn't improvise, adapt, and overcome, bro. I was disappointed in Triller so much, man. I was like, damn, y'all can't keep this fight popping. You letting the older fighter come in here and change things. You think people are going to be more so gravitating towards, Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul than y'all? Oh, wow. So, Tio found another layer. He found out what another layer to business is, that you have the shakers and the movers in the sport, and he found out the hard way. So with that said, 3 delays, defaulted, Triller defaulted, and then, he fought what he fought, beat Lomachenko, and he moved up to 140. He's had 2 fights. Primarily the second fight, Sandor Martin, was the one that he looked a bit sketchy. He looked a little sketchy, just like freaking Josh Taylor did against Jack Catterall. So both of these fighters have some, mediocre performances, so to speak. But that doesn't mean they haven't accomplished a lot. You know what I'm saying? And on the 18 fights, I swear, they have accomplished a lot. Both of these fighters sitting in 19 pro fights. You know what I'm saying? Damn near mirroring knockout percentages. Josh Taylor is much taller with longer reach, right? And at the end of the day, they have accomplished a lot early on. Josh Taylor is a part of Undisputed, where he vacated his titles, and Tio get the fight for the lineal. He get the fight for the WBO and the lineal, bro. That's important. Sticking boys and fishing and sports. What's good? Salute to you. I heard old girl nickname for that baby was Romy. Now I know why. I joke on TeoFimo, but majority of these boxers pick the worst woman possible as partners. It's sadly a culture issue. Ward, Porter, Crawford are examples of proper men in that sense. Exceptions. Well, that is life in general. You feel me? That's life in general. But I'm not really here to talk about his girl because he has a fight, and his girl is not the one in the ring. Like I tell people all the time, I was able to absolutely cover them, when they was in love, so to speak, or loving one another. And relationships happen like that for whatever reason. Men, we can, we're not emotional, but we can be caught up in emotional situations. We'll say the woman is emotional, yes, but that same woman that you saying is emotional may, draw you into her emotions. And a man will sit up there and think that, okay, well, it's not too much I have to worry about right now. I just hang around for a little bit, clean this up and see where it goes. Men, we all about trying to, if we really want to put the effort and work in, we'll try to see can we make something happen. It's positive in a relationship, but boxing is boxing. These fighters get hit in the head, and not everybody is going to have a perfect relationship. But with Josh Taylor and Teo, right? I do appreciate us being able to have this fight. It's not even close to the buzz that that Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia had. Not even close. And no one in that matchup accomplished what these two fighters was able to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? Like, this crazy, ain't it? Like, Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. Tank is a three-weight world champion, but he's never been undisputed, unified like that. Ryan, he didn't have nothing except a social media following and his looks, but yet they was able to go in here and get the bag. But yet I look at Teofimo Lopez and him fighting in the Hulu Theater. It just seems like to me that is a step back. That's a huge step back. I'm talking about a full 30-inch step back about face. March. We're talking about two fighters who have unified their divisions, one at 135, one at 140, and they're fighting in the Hulu Theater. Somebody must have got pissed off, man. You know what I'm saying? How and why? Because listen, I thought it was up and up from there. Like, I thought Teo would be on pay-per-view. I thought this fight would be getting way more publicity than it is. You know what I'm saying? I just thought that two fighters that have accomplished so much in their career in the early stage, they will definitely be fighting in the Garden. But they're fighting in the small side cubicle. I call it the cubicle of MSG. They're fighting in the MSG cubicle, y'all. And I don't understand why. And what it does is, when it comes to credentials, they look at the space and they look at the amount of people that want to come over here because he's fighting a Scottish fighter, and they have to accommodate the Scottish media. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they looking at it like, well, who is going to suffer from this? Well, most of the time it's U.S. media that suffers, unless you have a team, unless you got 300K, unless you know what I'm saying. But shout out to Top Rank. I love them. I love the way they do media. I do. Very, very smooth. You know what I'm saying? Very smooth. But for them fighting in Hulu Theater is definitely a slap, not just in the face, but in the back of your head. You know what I'm saying? Back of your head with a goddamn a glove full of wrenches. You know what I'm saying? Nuts and bolts in it. Because we're talking about two fighters who accomplish a lot in their career, but they in the Hulu Theater. I'm talking about, let's not even talk about the capacity of the Hulu Theater, man, for a Teofimo Lopez and Josh Taylor. That's crazy. But what my thumbnail is, right, It's pretty much talking about T.O.'s biggest challenge because the weigh-in is going to be 15 minutes, right? So let me get to this. The biggest challenge is TeoFimo Lopez, his biggest nemesis. And I haven't seen T.O. self-destruct yet. I haven't seen it. I'm just being honest with y'all. I haven't seen this man self-destruct. I've seen this man accomplish something that a lot of fighters aren't built for to be a part of. I haven't seen a lot of fighters do what this man is doing. I have not seen it in this amount of time. You know what I'm saying? In this amount of time. I haven't seen fighters be put in a position where they're fighting for a title. So before that, you have to fight for eliminator. You know, Jahad Tucker's in the position. He's going there for his 11th fighter. He can be in that position if they will move him and set him up for that. We don't know what's going to happen with the belts. See, the belts have to be loose. If the belts ain't loose, then, you know, it's just waiting around and seeing what's going to happen. But it's still time. But with TeoFimo Lopez, him being Nakatani, he didn't self-destruct. He faced adversity early on and he continued to rock. And then Richard Coleman, he did what he's supposed to do, pick up the title. And then he beat Lomachenko. When have he self-destruct? More people are talking about what he says and what he does outside the ring. Now, the worst fight to date, in my opinion, the worst fight to date was, of course, his first defense of his titles against George Kambosos. Of course, that was his worst fight today. But he made it to the final bell. He didn't freaking start crying in the middle of the ring. He didn't start running around acting like he didn't. He kept on fighting, and he earned the knockdown in the 10th round. That's not self-destruction. That's the warrior spirit. This man fought through a health condition and still went to the final round. That's respect. Now, moving forward, you know, him going in there against Sandor Martin, you know what I'm saying? The second worst fight of his career, in my opinion. I'm talking about when he, you know, picked up the belts and everything. I just felt like, man, it was nothing there. It was very banal, you know, like it just, he was hoping so much out of something and it was so empty. You know what I'm saying? This shit was so empty. The performance was empty. Like it really was no sound. It was quiet. Everything was muffled. You was waiting for that roar to come in, you know, for T.O. to start shaking and baking. It never happened. And Sandor Martin, he's to blame too, because all he thought he could do to beat somebody like T.O. is freaking be a counterpuncher and fight off the back foot the entire fight and try to catch him coming in with something. At the end of the day, that is a part of the sweet signs, but it's just a part of the sweet signs we don't want to fuck with. We don't really want to see a fighter just box off the back foot and be a counterpuncher. We don't want to hear that shit. We don't want to hear the plan and we don't want to see the plan. We don't want to hear it. When we see it play out, a lot of people are not going to say, oh man, that's sweet signs. That's sweet signs right there. Don't worry about it. That's sweet signs right there. No, we don't want to hear it or see it. So Sandor Martin, you know, he was jumping up and down like he won. I say, man, you think you're going to win a fight like that? T.O. is way more marketable than you, bro. At the end of the day, he's way more marketable. So you have to look at who has the higher value moving forward. You know what I'm saying? TeoFimo Lopez. Now, moving forward with sponsorships are different. And also moving forward with the fans saying what they saying about T.O. right now is what you want. T.O. has fans out here saying he's crazy, he's deranged, he's not in a healthy headspace. There's some mental health issues going on. It's been made public that he's going through a divorce and stuff. But I always tell people this. I say T.O. I've been around him, and it don't take me a whole 5 years to figure out. T.O. is very good with manipulation. You know what I'm saying? Using his mind to manipulate that of those who are in front of him or in the proximity or listen to what he has to say. He is good with doing that shit with a straight face. Now, people gonna say, is that a mental illness or what? I'm not here to go all into that because that's impossible. But he's a good manipulator, man. He's a good showman. T.O.'s a good showman at the end of the day, man. People say what they want to say, but when that camera rolled in front of his face and T.O. said, "Bro, do I still got it?" I laughed so hard, man, because as the camera got in front of him to draw the crowd in, to have them go on a whole nother path to say, "Oh man, I bet the YTC is gonna goddamn suck this up." Bro, do I still got it? You're asking the guy that's not even your trainer. You asking someone who's not even your trainer, do you still have it? And the only person that has the answers to that question you just asked is you, T.O. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying the man is brilliant in the way that he says things with a straight face. It's brilliant. Y'all might not look at it that way, but I'm just saying it's hilarious to see him at work. Like just like I mentioned, you know, when we was out there talking, me and Jahad Tuck was talking, and the team, all us together, and T.O. interrupted the interview and started, you know, giving Jahad his speech or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like once again, T.O. is acting like he the dummy. I mean, like he's the Dalai Lama or whatever. You know, he's acting like he's the Pope. He's acting like he's the high priest, man. It's hilarious. You know what I'm saying? He's quoting all these scriptures and everything. I just laughed, man, because I was provided the opportunity to spend some time around him, and I've talked to him when nobody else around. I did. I had the receipts. I've talked to T.O. when he didn't have all this shit going on in his life. He wasn't champion, bro. He wasn't married. I talked to him before that. I talked to him even back then when him and Devin Haney had the infamous freaking encounter and people was blowing that shit up and talking about, oh man, you know, Devin and T.O. was gonna fight. I always knew they wasn't gonna fight. I always knew it. Because when you're talking to the people behind and you know all the stuff that's going on, to include David McWhorter, you know things. But is he his biggest nemesis? That's yet to be seen. Because like I said before, I haven't seen that man self-destruct yet. Hold up for a second. I haven't seen TeoFimo self-destruct until I see him in a situation of getting himself out of that situation, which somewhat may be harmful to the results. The results may be harmful. Then I'm still on board with saying he's in control of who he is as a person. You know what I'm saying? People may consider that idiosyncratic, but I look at it like it's a lot of people that's out here that totally understand situations. I think T.O. understands what he has to do to be his own promoter, so to speak, his own hype man. And one way that he's been able to do it was the things that come out of his mouth. So let me let you listen to some of the audio, right? Between him and that he said on the press conference, the final press conference that they had. All right. Before this weigh-in kicks off.
It's nice and try, good. I can't wait till you come and try. Can't wait.
Oh, ain't no trying with me, man. You take everything that you got. That's what we are. The takeover.
Good.
Worldwide.
It's nice and try, good. I can't wait till you come and try. Can't wait.
Oh, ain't no trying with me, man. Yeah. That's just the thing, though.
That's all it's going to be. It's going to be.
Everybody got a plan till they get punched in the face. Shout out to Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson again. Here we go. Clown. You not got any quotes of your own?
I do have one. I just made it up yesterday. I think it says, "Aim for death, for that's where life begins."
Oh, okay. Wow. No comment.
I think it's a good one. You aim at death, for that's where life begins. Everybody's scared of death. I don't know why. We all gonna die, but at least if I die, I'm dying for something that means something that's gonna last forever. It's what greats are all about. Something that you don't really know. I mean, this is what we're all about, man. Remaking history, making history, and giving the fans and giving the kids, the youth, a good thing to follow on. They need that. They need that motivation to know that they could do it too. The only way you can, there's earth, there's man, and in between that, you bring the realization within yourself from the heavens.
Champ,
Listen, at the end of it all, man, everybody can laugh, do whatever the fuck they want, but it's just me and him that's fighting.
So when I first heard this, right? So obviously Teo, he's a reader, he's a listener, and you know, from hearing it the first time, you know, a lot of people gonna look at it like, well, that didn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? What he said. He quoted the Mike Tyson. Yeah, people are gonna say that's a big cliche. We heard it all before. Okay, that's Mike Tyson. You know, he said it. Thousands of people have used it. Cool. You know what I'm saying? But listen to what he said at the end. Listen to what he said.
You take everything that you got. That's what we are. The takeover. Worldwide. You take everything that you got. That's what we are. The takeover.
Good.
Worldwide.
There's nice and try. Good. I can't wait till you come and try. Can't wait.
Oh, ain't no trying with me, man.
Yeah.
That's just the thing, though.
That's all it's going to be. It's going to
Everybody
be the
got a plan till they get punched in the face. Shout out to Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson again. Here we go. Clown.
Let me fast forward it.
There's earth, there's man, and in between that, you bring the realization within yourself from the heavens. Champ.
He said there's earth and there's man, and you bring the realization from heaven. All right, there's earth, there's man, and you bring the realization from heaven. What he said isn't so stupid, because that's exactly how we think as down here on earth. People kind of thrive off religion. So what are we doing in religion? We pray and we give hope and faith to the Most High. Where's the most high considered to be? Heaven. You know what I'm saying? It's not too far-fetched to consider that statement not to be stupid. But when people are sitting there and they saying, oh, here go Teo. It didn't take me to look up anything. I totally understand. You know what I'm saying? You know, earth and man and all this. And then in between that, it's a realization from heaven. As people living on earth, we put all our faith in the higher being that we never have an opportunity of seeing. It's been said that we can feel it, but we can't see it. But yet we will put all our devotion into that higher supreme being for spiritual guidance, safety, blessings. We say it all the time, but we never seen it. Where's this at? On earth. What do we consider? Men. Woman, man. We consider man. Man. The realization is you believe in it. Your belief system has to be high enough so you can understand. That's with anything in life. You got to have a belief system to go out here and do something or accomplish something to achieve it. If others believe that it's unachievable, but you and your mindset is, no, it's not. I believe it is achievable and I'm going to prove it to you. Then that's where he's at with it. People don't think in that mindset, but that's exactly what it is. We live that simulation every single day. Now, I'm not here to get in all this religious, ideology and all that. I'm not here for that. All I'm saying is I didn't bat an eye when he said that, as if, what the fuck he's talking about. It's absolutely true in that statement, because we do seek a lot of answers from heaven, the spiritual side of our belief system. We do. We seek that. We seek it in prayer. You know what I'm saying? We seek it by looking up to the skies. We seek everything above and beyond areas that we never are going to visit as a living human being. You know that shit is true. You know it is true. So since we haven't been able to visit it, it's always this hope, you know what I'm saying, that we can continue with prayer and all that, and it's gonna all come true. The realization, just like Teal said, the realization. And listen, it's not up to me to assume that T.O. is on some shit. Like people are saying, like, oh man, he's on some drugs, he's on this. Hey man, people take certain things to stay woke, so to speak. You know, it is stuff out there that's called brain food. There's certain supplements that allow you to think deeply than the average human being. It is things like that. You know, I did a live on the ayahuasca. You know what I'm saying? And I was saying that, hey, I mean, looking at how it's all done and where you need to go to make it really hit home, to give you the full effect of the ayahuasca from a shaman that you know that's out there in that area. I felt that from what I read and the people that's been there, that it's wild. You know what I'm saying? The mind is unbelievable, but the realization comes from belief. So when we down here, man and earth, and in between that, we looking up into the heavens for realization. It's not too far fetched. Come on, bro. That's easy. That's easy. It's not too far fetched. You know what I'm saying? It's not too far fetched. You don't need to be, you know what I'm saying, in your 50s to realize some shit like that. But I do want to say this about T.O. Because T.O., I have to be honest with something you said. You said that in the prediction for Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, you said you're taking Errol Spence because Terrence Crawford is chinny. Well, I look at what you've been able to go through in your professional career, and that same tag that you just placed on Crawford can be placed on you. The difference is you was down in your first fight. You was down in your first fight, man. I think if you have experienced such a criticism, especially in combat sports, that you've been on the canvas, you should really be apprehensive about saying that another fighter is chinny just because they have been wobbled. Like I said this before, like Devin Haney and Jorge Linares, everybody forgets about what he did from round 1 to round 10. They just look at when he was hurt. Tio, you actually been on the canvas. You know what I'm saying? You actually been on the canvas. You know what I'm saying? I sat there and watched you and Sandro Martin fight. Luckily, the referee called the second one a stumble or whatever the case may be. But you was on the canvas then. You was on the canvas against Kambosos. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes down to it, that's not a term I would suggest you use. All the heaven and earth and everything in between, the religious, you know, religion that that we should focus and dial in our realization of you know, believing in something special that we respect in life. Archive that shit. You should leave that alone when you're talking about Crawford as Cheney, because you've been on the canvas several times during your career. You know what I'm saying? And then one of those fights, you earn your first. Hold up for a second. One of those fights, you earn your first loss. You feel me? So I wouldn't suggest that you're up here saying that, yeah, just because Crawford is chinny, you know, that's your terminology. Just because you believe he's chinny, you going for Errol Spence when you know damn well it's a lot more to the package when you're talking about these two stepping in the ring to face each other. It doesn't make any sense what you said. I just feel you love making controversial comments about specific fighters. And once again, I know you are very strategic in who you make a controversial decision about, especially if it benefits you. You know what I'm saying? So Tio knows that a lot of people are going for Crawford, But he said he's going for Errol Spence, and he makes this comment that Crawford is chinny. That's what I tell you all about how Teo thinks, but no one wants to freaking listen. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to listen. But this man has a fight coming up, and he's been saying controversial stuff the entire time. He wished death. He's this. He want to kill him. I mean, not wish death. He wants to kill that man in the ring, you know, and all this stuff, man. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. People don't look at how smart or what's the ulterior motive for some of these fighters saying what they're saying. He can't talk about being chinny, but I know why he said it. I know it was a calculated move to continue to build up this momentum of people hearing that he's going through a divorce, right? Hearing that he's going through a divorce, people saying he's losing his mind, he's crazy. You know what I'm saying? 3, you know, people saying he's not mentally stable going in here with Josh Taylor. That's the whole deal. But WCS is just asking, bro. That's a topic you should leave around. You should leave that chinny topic alone. And you better not go in here and get dropped by Josh Taylor. You know, because you're the much younger fighter, 25. You're 7 years younger than this dude. Don't go get dropped by Josh Taylor. Let me see what they're talking about. Hold on for a second, y'all. And y'all hit the like button for me. I appreciate you. But let me get to the chat right quick. Appreciate y'all for being patient. Appreciate y'all for being patient, man. Nelly Content Entertainment, WCS. Salute to you, brother. Appreciate you pulling up on deck. Big Blunts and Boxing, the GOAT is in the building, man. Appreciate you dropping me, you know, the content here and there. Blunts, I appreciate it, brother. You know what I'm saying? So they're just going through the intro, you know, just showing the previous presser and basically highlighting some of TeoFimo's controversial comments that I try to tell people. I just told you, you know, how it all works out, how strategic he is, how he manipulates the process of keeping the attention and the magnifying glass on him. He speaks about this. I have that, you know, he speaks about this on knowing how to promo or knowing how to promote himself. And promoting yourself doesn't always mean just positive content. It has to be something. We live in a society where, you know, country sales, man. It's really like back in the day, they wanted you to be professional. Oh man, we gotta be professional, dog. You got to do everything right. You got to do this, and this. Like for instance, perfect example, right? When people saw me up there in a suit and tie, right? So, you know, I was getting the check marks, the checks and X's, right? People's like, damn, we know you on YTC. We don't know you there. I said, well, you don't see me on camera all the time either, but you know how I look, you know what it is. But they see me in a suit and they feel like it's a step, it's a moderate stance on what I'm taking on somebody else's broadcast, right? Vice what I am. Be yourself. They, you know, some people saying, oh, be yourself, man. We like the one on the YTC. Okay, cool. I understand where you at. Real talk. I understand where you at with it, but that is not the YTC. That has a whole larger fan base over there on somebody else's broadcast and platform. That is not a podcast. They're not going through YouTube. They're going off satellite terminals. Okay. I just had to put that out there. We're waiting for the weigh-ins. We only have 15 likes in the building. I don't know why. NBA Finals are in Miami. As long as James on MSG, we won't see big fights at the Garden anymore. I don't know about that, man. I don't know what you mean by big fights. We won't see big fights anymore. You think it's done, over? I like how they're engaging in this interview. I like this interviewer. I hope Taylor makes weight. You know what I'm saying? Nobody on the universe thought the Knicks was making the finals, and they didn't do. They didn't. So basketball in the finals can't be blamed. Tio isn't as big as he thinks he is. Well, if somebody believes in themselves first, it's been proven in time that sometimes those individuals who some people may think that they're not able to achieve that feat that they're trying to go out here and accomplish, and they end up doing it. I mean, you have to have self-belief first. And self-belief will take you past, like, the mind is strong. The mind is unbelievable, man. It's amazing. The mind is just incredible. You know what I'm saying? You got to have belief in yourself above all else. You got to have belief in yourself first. You know what I'm saying? You got to have belief that there's somebody else that you want to put your faith in. You know what I'm saying? If you're a religious person and you think God is who you want to put your belief in, your mind have to convince you of that. You know what I'm saying? Your mind. You have to have a thought to say, okay, what have I taken from this whole situation to for me to believe this is a person that I want to put my prayer, my devotion, and my faith in. Why? Why am I doing that? Something had to persuade you. So it definitely has to be you. You know what I'm saying? Some people just look at a person in general, and just because they feel some type of way about the person, they think that's going to influence that person for thinking outside of the normality for which people are not looking at as to why they even believe what they believe. Y'all keep on thinking like, oh man, so and so stupid. He say some dumb shit. They don't know what the fuck they talking about. But in reality, you have to look at it as if you was in his mindset and why he's thinking the way he's thinking. And does he have a point? If he has one valid point within the melee of confusion that you are confused about, if he has one valid point to guide you into his world on what he's trying to convince you of, then guess what? It's making sense. It's making sense because with that one point is pretty much where he wants you to see. I'm giving you several points, but if one point grabs you and you're able to come in that way, that's the entry to understanding my world on why I think the way I think, then that's where it's at. You know, he has to believe. You have to believe. We see those moments all the time. It doesn't take the news or the broadcast to say, hey, we want to talk about the event that just happened. We could not believe what we just witnessed. How did that happen? This, that, and that. It's always happening. Just like they talk about this mother who lifted the car off her kids after an accident. You know what I'm saying? The kid was pinned beneath the car and she lifted the car. So in this day and era, people were like, okay, what year did this happen? Okay, what car was it? If it was a Volkswagen Rabbit, man, my 5-year-old son can lift that Volkswagen Rabbit up. You know what I'm saying? People are like that. They'll say, what kind of car was it? Was it old school? If it was an old school, they was made different. Now I respect it for that. But she just lifted a regular Toyota Corolla off that. And that I ain't got nothing. I'm not too impressed. You're missing the point though. Tio ain't thinking higher than the average human being. He just talking shit. Hey, and listen, I'm not here to put up any resistance on how you feel about another man's thought process. I'm just speaking about it. You and I have been in totally two different situations. You've been from afar, and I've been in close proximity when it came to Tio. I've seen him at work at a certain point. I don't need to be around him, like I said, for years upon years to figure somebody out enough to see them in action. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's where I'm at with it. I'm not here to convince anybody that this man has some type of brilliance or genius to him. All I'm saying is if he reads, if he believes, if he practices, if he's meditate, if he puts himself in that mindset, hey, that's who he is, bro. I'm not here to be the Dalai Lama. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Especially not after what I seen him do to kids. Shit. Sick motherfucker. I'm not trying to be Gandhi. It's definitely possible. The fake philosopher does have talent, but if he does lose, everyone will look back and say they saw it coming. He's been delusional since Loma win. I totally disagree, man. I totally disagree that he's been delusional. I totally disagree with that. Real talk. Because since the Loma fight, right? You're talking about he fought Loma, and that was his 16th professional win. Okay? His 16th professional win. From that win to now, he has 19 professional fights. He only has one loss, and that one loss was George Kambosos. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, delusional about what? Because the only man to beat him, it was controversial because it's been proven that he wasn't 100% medically when it comes to his health. So he only had one loss up to this point. He only had one loss. Once put your money on both guys getting dropped and pick your guy to win. Should be a nice catch. I'm going for TeoFimo Lopez, man. I'm really not going for the result. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going for Teo winning and looking very, very sharp in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm going for him looking very, very sharp. I remember saying this back in the day. I told people that Teo is going to be a champion at 140. I said it's not going to take him that long to get a title shot. He's going to be a champion. This man is in a title shot in his third fight at 140. He's getting a title shot against the undisputed. Not anybody else. Josh Taylor's undefeated now. And those of you that followed me back then know damn well I said that he's going to get a title shot. He ain't getting a title shot just anybody. Just take a look at the champions now. WCS will guide you where you want, right? Take a look at the champions. Regis Progress. You know, much respect to Rugaru. Absolutely. He has one loss against Josh Taylor, the same fighter that TeoFimo is facing tomorrow. Subriel Matias, one loss. But still, he's a great, you know, he's a solid fighter. He still needs to up his competition and build up, but he's a champion. And then the infamous Rolando Romero has one loss, right? Rolando Romero has one loss at the hands of Gervonta Davis. So now we have the only remaining champion, active champion at 140 who has 0 defeats, 19 wins, and he's going in there with the fighter that's damn near his equal. He's damn near his equal, bro, when it comes to the paperwork. Damn near his equal when it comes to the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? What do you all know about Josh Taylor? Y'all just gonna congratulate him for being a dirty fighter? Is that something that's any different than Teo talking shit and Josh Taylor being a dirty fighter? Which one is better? You know, being a dirty fighter or talking shit up to the fight to get people to tune in? Which one is it? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't hear people saying Teo's a dirty fighter, but Josh Taylor, he's been on camera showing that he's a dirty fighter, period. Some people be so intimidated, WCS, that's the only choice they have is to create controversy. I can understand where you're coming from. In certain cases, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Some people intimidate, they talking. But you can understand nervousness versus them actually being able to go in there and be a part of that situation. Like he has to be a part of this battle he's about to undertake. He has to be a part of this. He's been there before. Nelly, this is where I'm at with Teo. I don't think he's talking shit, and I don't believe he's intimidated, and it's influencing him to talk shit, because I look at his fight with Lomachenko being a lot more hype than his fight with Josh Taylor. Real talk, because he went into the Lomachenko fight undefeated. I look at his fight with Lomachenko, and that was a huge. I'm talking about a grandiose freaking challenge for him to go in there and fight the pound for pound guy. Where has Josh Taylor been on the pound for pound list? So that's why I say what T.O.'s at. Like what he was able to do with Lomachenko, Richard Comey, and Nakatani. Man, that's some commendable shit, bro. That's very commendable. I'm not gonna lie, that's very commendable. Jameson, what's good with it, bro? What up, WCS? Came in a little late. But who are you pulling for in this one? TeoFimo Lopez, no doubt about it. TeoFimo Lopez, no doubt about it. No ifs, ands, buts about it. I'm going for Teo. I'm going for Gordo. Man. I really hope Teo can get this one. He can get hate for trying to promote himself, but inside the ring, he legitimately tries to entertain the fans. At least somebody's seeing it with an open eye ball. You know what I'm saying? And the pupil is on par. You know what I'm saying? You are seeing what I'm seeing. He does try to entertain you in the ring. I look, I'm gonna go on record and say I truly don't think we're gonna see the Teo that we seen with the Sandor Martin fight. You know, and then people want to say, well, you know, he went the distance with Regis, and some say he could have lost. Yeah, he could have, should have, would have. You know what I'm saying? Josh Taylor could have lost that fight with freaking Regis Prograis. It was a good fight. I just finished watching it before I went live. I just finished watching it. It was a very entertaining fight. Seriously, it was very entertaining. Teo to be knocked down and win is plus 14. Okay. Okay. All right. Right. He said, delusional, saying he won 11-2, saying he won every round versus Martin, saying he's the biggest fighter outside the U.S. market. Also saying he would be undisputed 2 times if he beat Taylor, like Regis don't have the belt. He's talking about lineal. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about lineal. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about collectively knowing. Well, he's talking about his definition, his understanding that Taylor never lost his belts. So since he vacated the belts and he's fighting an undisputed champion that never vacated his belts and still hold on to the lineal, that's where he's at with it. Now, as far as him saying 11-2 and everything else, I get it. But, you know, that was after the fight, a tough fight where he did suffer, you know, damage in that fight. He was bleeding. And far as we concerned, his health and everything, it is what it is. I don't know how the man was thinking, but is it delusional? I don't know. In a moment like that, where your adrenaline is high, and you know, not like I said, you know, his health and everything, yeah, it sounded a little weird. You know, somebody could say he was delusional. It's all good. Shout out to Ron. Modern King Boxing in the building. What's good with it, Ron? I heard you over there on Bernie the Boxing, man. Good shit. Good shit. Good. I think that was you on the phone call with Bernie. That was some solid points right there. Extremely solid points, man. I don't know why you don't have your own damn channel. But hey, who am I? Don't know. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't want no channel. They don't have time to be putting, a channel up and doing live and creating thumbnails. It can be taxing. You know what I'm saying? It can be taxing. Believe that. I'm not gonna hold you on that. It can be taxing, bro. He got so many people convinced he's mentally unstable, and that's some serious power. His mouth convinced MFs to bet against him. Hey man, he want people to not like him. You know what I'm saying? He want people to believe that he's not that guy. Like he has things going on that's out of his control. Like when people say mental health, a lot of times they say, oh, well, he's doing things that he can't control. And since he can't control them, he's going to what? Self-destruct. That's what they think when it comes down to it. He's going to self-destruct. But he hasn't self-destruct in the ring yet. He hasn't gave us that self-destruction in the ring. He hasn't just lost it. He hasn't gave us that Oliver McCall moment. He hasn't did it, bro. He hasn't did it. He hasn't gave us the Andrew Galata moment. Y'all have to think about all this. He hasn't did it. That's at the end. That's when you don't have control. Your people trying to say, what are you doing? What are you doing? Come on, man. What are you doing? Come back over here, sit down. And, no one's listening. The microphones are off. No one's listening. I can't hear you. I'm mute. No, I'm in a whole different headspace right now. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. He hasn't had that Oliver McCall moment, bro. He hasn't had that Andrew Galata moment. He hasn't had it, bro. Teo versus Loma deserved more hype than this fight. Good timing. Teo undefeated. Loma. Neither Teo or Taylor was impressive in their last out. I think it's a good fight. It's a good fight, man. I think they about to start up the weigh-ins. It's a good fight. It's definitely a good fight. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a good fight. And this is the old Teo versus the new Teo. Of course, they say you learn a lot from being younger. And especially in the boxing game, when you going up here competing and you face that adversity, people always want somebody to go through adversity to say, oh, they learn from that. They learn from, well, guess what? I think Teo learned from his adversity. Being that adversity played off in front of millions of people. He lost the fight, lost his titles. You know what I'm saying? He went on post-fight conference and said exactly, I thought I won 11-2, but also he put it out there that he wasn't in the best of health also. And, it's a lot of things that people will look at Teo and say, what is he talking about? Why is he talking all this, this earth, this stuff that's centering your body and everything? Why he's always talking about this spiritual side of human being? Just imagine if religion was something that we had to do. So if we had to be involved in religion, we had to practice this faith. This wouldn't be an uncommon thing. It would be like, you got to do this. You have to sit down and practice. So with more practice and something that you are forced to do, then we wouldn't even be having this conversation. It wouldn't seem odd. Just like 10 to 15 years from now, people are never going to know some of these comics was never gay. They're never going to know because the agenda is being pushed so hard that these new kids are you can't, some people is not going to give their kids, but your kid is going to find out sooner or later when they actually witness it for themselves when they get out the house. My superheroes, like people I grew up, they're making these comics. They're trying to say it's no way that you can identify male and female now. It's all about what your thought process is. You know what I'm saying? You ever heard some shit? Have you ever heard some shit like that? I know I'm a little bit off topic, but I'm just telling you what's up. Like if we really was forced into religion, to whatever that religion would be, this wouldn't be such an odd thing with the way Teo is talking. Teo is talking because he's probably in a place where he's meditating and doing stuff behind the scenes, and whoever he's seeing, whatever he's seeing, a priest or whatever, he's reading about, but he's believing this stuff. But yet you go to the rest of the world, they try to keep us away from religion. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this is not broadcasted on TV. Religion is not broadcasted because you have people that's gonna sit up here and refute it. They're going to reject it because, you know, you have so much influence from a group effort. One person get together with another person, that person. Before you know it, you know, they all pushing this belief that it was never this in life. It was never that and all this. That's where we at with it. 10 or 15 years from now, all my superheroes, they're going to try to be putting up there like, you're going to see all this kissing and shit of other superheroes. Soon enough, all the superheroes are going to have some type of bisexual tendencies or activities that these kids will witness on TV. It's just unbelievable. As a fighter, Teo revealed who he was in the 12th round versus Loma. He behaved like a fighter. However, I have to acknowledge how he performed and looked since. Hey, man, we're about to see tomorrow. And see, like I always say about these face-offs, I don't know why boxing always had to try to get in between these fighters. Like, I seen I always mention the New Jersey Commission, right? How they was up there, you know, it was a fight. I'm not gonna mention his name, but you know, it was a fight up there facing off with his opponent, and he was up there trying to act like it was gonna be something when he, you know, he'll put hands on him right there and all that. And the commission stepped up and say, ain't nobody putting hands on nobody. I find you so much, you wish you never. I find your whole purse. You think you're gonna put hands on a fight and you got a fight coming up tomorrow. You're not gonna mess up anything. He told the public, y'all fighters coming here on that dumb shit. I'm gonna be dumb with you. He let it be known, man. He cut that shit short, man. Ain't nobody talking about that. You gonna put hands on him in the crowd when he gets off stage? You gonna do what? No, you do it in the ring. That's smart. You get paid. But if you put hands on your opponent outside of the ring, you ain't stepping in that motherfucker. You ain't getting paid shit. And I'm suspending you. And I'm suspending your ass. Teo bought his old trainer from the AMS a month ago. Teo got a very thorough strength and conditioning coach too. You know what I'm saying? He has a very good strength and conditioning coach too. I'm telling you, this fight is not going to go the way y'all think it is, man. I mean, y'all keep looking at the Santa Martin fight, and you know, Martin, you know, he didn't do shit. He didn't do shit. The damn take W. This dude was up here playing it safe, wanted to be the counter puncher. Come on, throw that left. Oh, I'm gonna stick my feet out there and hit you with a counter right hook. I'm gonna hit you with a counter right hook, or whatever he was trying to do. I'm gonna hit you with a counter right hook while you throwing your left, and I'm gonna hope to get a knockdown. In the process, he's sticking his leg all the way out there, and we already know about foot placement and foot positioning. Okay, cool. But Martin was trying to he didn't try, he did place his foot on the inside of Teo's lead foot. So when Teo came in with the jab, or you know, try to double up on the jab, whatever the case, Martin wanted to, you know, check hook him in the process of extending his right leg. He didn't try to freaking win. He was up there trying, you know, to make a situation happen. And he did it once. He did it. But the referee called it, you know, he tripped over his leg the second time. Shout out to Xander Zayas. You know, he's on deck. Puerto Rican sensation, one of the youngest to ever sign with Top Rank. But I must put this out there though, right? With Xander. These Puerto Rican fighters that show all that, get all that love at NY, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's good for them to do that. I'm glad they have like a pocket in the boxing mecca to make that money and to bring those fans over there. I like that. But Jahai stays over in that area too. He's not Puerto Rican. And both Xander Zayas and Jahai Tucker, they're at the point right now that they have very limited fights. Xander's sitting at 15-0 and Jahai is like 10-0 right now. But the whole point is that I thought boxing was to throw out challenges to these people. These people that's in positions where people are saying, okay, I like what's going on with that fight. I like this. I like that. Right. Challenge is supposed to be something of the sport, right? So when Jahai, kind of called out Xander at the press conference, he say, I don't want to fight you because I end your career, right? So what they did was turn back around. And from what I heard, some people didn't like what Jahai did. So they turned around and they gave him one of Zayed's sparring partners. And this dude was big. This dude was big, man. He was well put together. He was big. But the crazy part about it is that when Jahai went out here and broke this dude up, like you're supposed to do in boxing, when you're trying to prove that you're him. And yes, I want to go in there and face the names that you're talking about and you're trying to elevate up the chain of command. I want to test myself against them so I can be in their spot. Well, it doesn't seem like that was well taken by Team Zayas. I don't get it, man. Like, if a fighter's trying to challenge you and he beats up your sparring partner, you say, damn, I underestimated this guy. I underestimated him. He gets to win and put on a spectacular performance, man. And people are acting like, oh, no, you can call out anybody else. It was, if it was anybody else, yeah, you can do it and it'll stick. But don't call out Zayas, man. He's building up his career. He's building, but isn't this the opportune time? How can Xander Zayas be building up his career, but yet they put TeoFimo Lopez in there with Lomachenko? They put Josh Taylor in there with Jose Ramirez. How are you building up your career? Josh Taylor only has 19 fights like Teo. He was 17-0 when he fought Jose Ramirez. He went in there for his, come on, bro. How are people saying, oh, man, you got to wait up the road. You got to fight up the road, man. Wait till you get more fights under your belt. No, that's not the case, man. That's called excuses. That's called, the team not being confident. You know what I'm saying? Like when Seknesvili landed that shot in the first round, yeah, people was like, I bet a lot of Puerto Ricans who got wind, they was like, hey, man, this fight going on. And when he landed that shot, they was jumping up and down. There you go. We knew it. We knew it. And then Jahai started getting his defense back. He started recovering. And he started goddamn breaking this dude and chipping him up. And everybody tuned into the fight know what happened. They've been wanting to get work with certain individuals in certain locations, which I ain't gonna say. And certain individuals seems like they're trying to goddamn put people on the shelf. Nah, don't give him that work. I heard he's supposed to get work with. He's supposed to got work with Edgar. He's supposed to got work with Edgar Berlanga, but somehow, some way, that shit got shut down. Jahai was supposed to get work and sparring with Edgar Berlanga, and that shit got shut down. I don't know what's the deal, but back in the day, I don't even have to go back in the day. Y'all remember when Terrence Crawford walked up in the gym with Jose Benavidez and he had, I don't know how many people with him, and he was talking shit to Jose. And it was personal, dog. It was trash talking at his best. It was personal. They pulled up on there. The Benavidez and the Crawfords was going at it back and forth. And I heard some of your mama in there and all that shit. It was disrespectful as hell. What happened to that right there? Like, what happened to, if you think it, supposed to go a certain way and you think this fighter ain't ready, why would another sparring partner that's in a different weight class not be able to spar this guy all because y'all both Puerto Rican. I don't get it, bro. That makes no sense to me at all. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. We're waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting. Okay. Zan, LeBron, and Carrington. Teo look good with Joey Kamosh in the corner. I think he was there. He was only there for Loma fight though. They did look good that fight, man. Yeah, I seen that on Twitter, man. I seen it on Twitter at at the Top Rank Boxing. Top Rank. Thanks for dropping that in the chat. Where is it? Yeah, Jermaine Ortiz didn't make weight. No brainer. He's big for that weight class. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever else that was talking about, you know what I'm saying? Who knows what's going on? Move up to 140. It's definitely some work for you. Definitely some work for you at 140. Definitely. Facts. It'll be some money up there staying at 135 for what we already fought. Loma only other fights would be Deb and Shakur. They talking about Loma maybe moving down to 130 for a fight.
boxing. This is Top Rank, and we.
Come on, y'all. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. So, but I think could talked his way into a Shakur fight this year. I think Shakur definitely would have took that fight, but there's no money in it for him. You know, vice a Gervonta Davis or Devin Haney. You know, Shakur Stevens is just like, you know, like he fought Yoshino. What good would it do for him to fight Jermaine Ortiz if that's who you're talking about? I mean, he's a two-weight world champion. He was unified. You know, he lost his belt on the scale. So if he was to come up here, and you know, have his second fight at 135, Jermaine Ortiz lost a Loma. If that's who y'all talking about. I mean, why is Jermaine Ortiz considered a big fight for Shakur? Shakur he should do just what he's doing. He's looking forward to the bigger fights. He's looking forward to the Devin Haney's and Gervonta Davis's, not the Jermaine Ortiz's. I better not catch one of y'all up here walking around in a kilt. I'm supporting Josh Taylor and at the local food market, goddamn shopping for some motherfucking strawberries and shit in a kilt. I gotta hurry up. I'm gonna go back and miss the fight. And this ain't a skirt, by the way. This a kilt. All right, get it right. Got a little Scottish in me. Don't let it happen. I'm gonna frame you up real nice. I'm gonna frame you up and put you on the goddamn Photoshop software. God damn it. Come on, Top Rank. They must be waiting on something. I don't know why. What would be going on with this though? What are they waiting on? Okay, finally they starting. Jeez. Finally they're starting. So finally, you know, Shoot Carrotin is on deck. 126.8. 126.8. Shushu always in shape. I give him that. He's always in shape. He's not in the heavyweight class, but he's always shredded, always conditioned, and he's in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Brownsville, Brooklyn. And Shushu, one thing about him, he always get oiled up for the occasion. That's his shit. That boy be oiled up like he about to compete. Contestant number 1, please, center. Can you give a side chest bicep pose, please? Turn to the front and give a most muscular. To back, double bicep. These the big boys. These the big boys. Ain't no six pack here. They say you just getting these heavy cans that I got on my wrist. $256. $256. No rehydration clause there. Clebar is like what, 6'6", 6'7"? Dang. That dude whole body stopped growing. His head just popped out. That's a big dude right there. Let me check something out right quick with him. Let me check something out with him. It look like he going straight to the body. He going straight to the body. Polish hustler. So Neba is 6'7". He has an 86-inch reach. He's 6'7" with an 86-inch reach, and he's only 27 years old. That's a big boy. That's a big boy right there. 6'7", 86-inch reach. He is absolutely a heavyweight. Shout out to Sir Senior on deck. Omar, the new era Rosario. And there go Yoel Judah. Shout out to Yoel Judah. It look like brothers. This should be a good fight. You know what I'm saying? Very action packed fight right here. Seem like they ready to get it thumping. They ready to cause some friction. They ready to cause some discontent. Conceição. Conceição. Back from that Shakur Stevenson. You know, he showed toughness in that though. Conceição. Brazil against PR. I mean DR. Both of them got the same pose. Brazil and Dominican Republic. I know they want to bust out laughing. Shit. So we look the same. We got our arms crossed. We're mirror image of one another. Okay, we're getting closer to the main event. I mean, they say, no, y'all ain't gonna sit up here and stand and pose down. You're not the main event. We're trying to get up out of here. This is what a lot of YouTubers are waiting on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of YouTubers are looking forward to the main event because they want to see TeoFimo fail again. We always, we continue to get the freaking YouTubers putting all the hate because of, the little unregistered rivalries that they try to set up on here with TeoFimo. That's all. That's all. They still mad. Shout out to Xander, man. Jihad did break up your sparring partner, though. Okay. El Diablo Cruz. I like that. He's gonna need it in there against Xander. His opponent seems extremely happy. Outstanding. Shout out to them. Desert Storm inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Hall of Famers. Andre Ward, shout out to you, brother. Timothy Bradley, shout out. TeoFimo is on deck now. Josh Taylor's about to pick up his first loss tomorrow night. Josh Taylor about to pick up his first L tomorrow. I'm just putting it out there. He's about to get this work. Josh about to get this work. Between man and earth is realization. Comes heaven. Man and earth. Between that is realization. You better make weight, homie. You better make weight. You at 140 now, T.O. $140 even for T.O. Why was so close though? I'm gonna need to change your diet, man. $139.8. That is official. TeoFimo weighed in at 140. Taylor 139.8 officially. Now we're gonna get all the security and all that, whatever. I don't know why even do it if you're gonna have that many people up there tomorrow. Oh no, we gotta save it. We gotta save this now. We gotta save lives. Don't let them get too close together. They're gonna have them 6 feet apart now. That's stupid. That is just stupid. You're gonna have them 6 feet apart. A camera lens is not even that wide, bro. You're gonna have them 6 feet apart. Where you at, Josh? Damn, you weigh 139.8. Where you at? Damn, Shotty. Let's go, Shotty. Man, are you serious? Gonna have them like 10 feet apart? That is so stupid. They didn't do that with Javante. Javante said, "Move your punk ass out the way, man. I want a face off." You can't even get no picks, man. What's the point? Y'all not gonna let him get close? I mean, why, bro? Dude weighs like 400 pounds right there. They ain't doing shit, bro. They got a full-blown bodyguard, right? And they can only stand that close together. Like, this is 140 pounds, y'all. 140 pounds, man. They need a guy that's 568 and a half pounds to keep 240 pounders, which combined is only 280 pounds. I mean, come on, man. This shit don't make no sense, man. The guy that's up there is bigger than both of them. I think he wouldn't have a problem keeping them apart. Jesus, man. Well, that was the weigh-in. It's over. Oh, I put the scores in the chat. I put the weigh-in scores in the chat, man. You said Josh got a skirt on. Hey, man. I'm glad that's not a part of black culture, for real. Hey, yeah, I'll be back on a little later, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll be back on. I want to drop this thing way in, get off here. And yeah, appreciate y'all for pulling up as always. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna drop my next thumbnail for my other live. Enjoy y'all Friday. Until next time, turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. And hit the like button on your way out. Peace.